When's the last time an artist dropped something that like actually stuck with you? Like years later, you still feel it. We're in a time where songs trend for a week, go viral on TikTok, and then are forgotten a week later. So why don't we have timeless music anymore? We live in the gratification era. We live in a time where everybody wants everything fast. Streams, fame, validation. So in my opinion, artists don't get the chance to develop anymore. That crucial time that it takes for you to develop yourself as an artist, artists don't really have that anymore. Because if an artist does have a hit song, and there's a difference between a hit song and a timeless song, if an artist has a hit, they instantly get rushed into fame without being able to develop themselves, develop their sound, and develop who they are. So this leads to everybody chasing a moment instead of chasing legacy. And a lot of people would act like this isn't a big deal, but to me it is, because more and more and more, the genre of rap and other genres are going to keep on being put down, and eventually artists and genres are going to be a thing of the past because we're not getting enough timeless music. Now, I'm not saying that every single artist needs to release a timeless song. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the less timeless songs that we have in rap, the less that rap is going to be one of the more relevant genres. I mean, I believe that social media and the way that algorithms work today has a lot to do with this, because they don't push emotional vulnerability. They don't push anything that's real. They push what's going to keep people on the platform. And I get it, because these platforms, they need to find ways to keep eyes on them. They need to find ways of making money. So from a business perspective, I can't act like I don't get it. But at the exact same time, we need to talk about the fact that because of that, we're not getting a lot of emotional vulnerability pushed to the forefront. I was able to speak to an artist on his live stream, the artist who was pretty huge in the underground at one point in time, Ty Fontaine, and I asked the question, do you believe that authentic music is being pushed to the forefront? Because I don't. And he disagreed with me, and he said that, and he's one of my favorite artists of all time, so we can agree to disagree, but he said, I believe that authentic music is being pushed, but you just have to be willing to look for it. My thing is, I feel like I shouldn't have to find it. It should just be in front of me. But what's being pushed in front of us is the hits. It's the quick songs. It's the quick, oh my gosh, this is catchy, this is cool, everybody's using it to dance to and listen to. That's it. And then we forget about all of those songs. The ones that are actually able to move people, the ones that are actually able to carry you, they aren't being pushed in front of people. That's not me disagreeing completely with the take of like, there is authentic music, but I don't think that it's being pushed or put in front of us as much as it should. And that's why generally rap itself isn't in its prime anymore. It's not doing well, and if anything, it's in a slow decline. And I'm not saying that I'm not hearing good music. I'm not saying that there isn't great music out right now, but what I'm saying is there is less and less solid timeless artists, solid timeless music than before. And this leads into my next point, which is artists don't have a real identity currently. A lot of artists just try to sound like who's hot in the moment. Why? Because it's going to make them hot usually. When you see something doing well, you're gonna copy it. When everybody saw Popeyes making chicken sandwiches, McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's all hopped on the bandwagon because they see it's working for them, so it's gonna work for us, right? But that's not always the case with everybody. And what a lot of people don't realize is, although it might take longer when you try to do your own thing, you might propel yourself in a better direction for your career. Just copying off of somebody, yeah, it can get you in front of people's faces, but then you're just like everybody else. And if you're like everybody else, as soon as the next copycat enters the scene, we don't care about you, we care about the next one. You knew what Drake sounded like. You knew what Uzi and Travis Scott sounded like from a mile away. But a lot of artists that we're getting today, if you were to remove the title and the artist's name from a song and just play it for a random person, they genuinely might not be able to tell the difference. And that's not being ignorant. That's not being able to hear today's music and you're old head. No, that's literally, we are getting the same beats, the same flows, the same sounds out of multiple different artists, and we're losing artist identity. Being timeless takes time. It means that you need to take time and invest in your craft, invest in yourself to be able to create music that is just different on its own. But we don't get that as often anymore. Making timeless music means that your song might not go viral instantly, but it does mean that 5, 6, 10 years later, we are going to still be listening to that music and be like, damn, well, this doesn't sound like its time period. This sounds like something that could really move people. There's a reason why I'm gonna be 23, and in 7 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, I'm probably gonna still be hearing Topanga by Trippie Redd. We'll probably still be hearing EXO Tour Life by Lil Uzi Vert. There's a reason why it's been years and we still hear some of Biggie, Tupac, X's biggest hits, because they weren't just hits, they were songs that didn't define themselves by the time they were created in. I'm not saying this to hate. I'm literally just saying this to observe what I see is happening right now in rap, and is to me a part of one of the many reasons as to why rap is not anymore the biggest genre in music. And I believe that timeless music, timeless artists, they still exist. They're just the ones not chasing the trends. They're the ones that are chasing their own sound. They're chasing their own direction. If you want to make music yourself, and I myself make music, and my goal is not to sound like other people, and I've gotten a lot of hate from that. I've gotten a lot of hate, a lot of slack from people who I know in real life, from people online, telling me I can instantly blow up if I were to do this, this, and this like everybody else. But I don't want to be like every other artist. I don't want to be like every other creator. You don't have to be like every other artist. You don't have to be like every other creator. But if you don't just follow your own path and stop looking at the other direction, you're gonna fall into the trap that every other artist, every other creator, every other influencer, every other streamer has fallen into recently, hopping on the bandwagon instead of creating your own. Do you think that we'll ever get another timeless generation ever again? I don't know. And by timeless generation, I don't mean that every artist needs to be a timeless artist. I do not mean that every artist needs a timeless song. I mean, we need just enough artists that sound different from each other, just enough artists that sound different from each other that are in the mainstream, because a lot of people would again try to argue with me and say that certain artists do sound different from each other. I believe that that's a fact, but the ones that are being pushed to the forefront are very close copies sonically and aesthetically to each other. So do you think that we're ever going to get a timeless generation again? Let me know in the comments. I want to have a discussion with you guys. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. I got more content coming on the way. I'm an artist. I love making music. I make music myself, and I got an album out. If you want to hear any of that, follow me on Instagram, willarmani with 2 eyes. It's been your boy, Willarmani. Stay positive.